With the next paper, we stay in the well-being domain for a bit more. Meyer, Haas, and Wiedenhofer present estimates of cumulative extraction and trade of material flows and explore how these flows relate to variation in human well-being as measured with the Social Progress Index. Meyer et al. Start with the observation that global material consumption has increased by almost an order of magnitude because of both a fourfold increase in the human population and a doubling of the average material metabolism from about 5 tons per head per year. The authors explore how these cumulative flows of material consumption relate to well-being by matching data on the extraction and trade of 65 different materials, including biomass, fossil fuels, metal ores, and minerals, for 148 countries over 1950 to 2010 to data on the Social Progress Index for 2015. This Social Progress Index combines scores on different indicators, here showing those included for basic human needs, such as infant mortality and the percentage of households with food insecurity. The basic human needs indicators also include measures for crime and perceived safety. The foundations of well-being component consists of education outcomes and the share of renewable energy and pesticide use. The opportunity component includes gender equality measures, voter turnout, and completion of advanced education. The top map shows how countries score on this Social Progress Index in 2018 from the report by Social Progress Imperative. And the bottom map shows the cumulative domestic extraction in tons per hectare from Meyer et al. Page 5. The following histogram taken from page 4 depicts regional shares in 2010 and in cumulative material extraction, material imports and exports, and population. Notable are the increase of Chinese domestic extraction and imports, as well as the large share of both Europe and North America in global imports, while the rest of the world takes on the biggest share of material exports. This figure that shows the physical trade balance of some large economies also illustrates whom we mainly referred to with the rest of the world in the previous histogram. Here we see that the largest exporters of materials are the former Soviet Union, Saudi Arabia, and Australia. In this scatter plot, we see that the Social Progress Index seems to increase with the logarithm of cumulative extractions plus imports per capita. The authors do not subtract exports because they are interested in the total amount of resources that flows into one country's economy. The authors find that a 1% increase in cumulative extractions plus imports is associated with a 0.15 points increase on the Social Progress Index, with the Social Progress Index ranging from 0 to 100. This gives some sense of the magnitude, but it would have been informative to express this association in standard deviations. A second finding was that net exporting countries have lower average social progress index scores than net importers. The authors provide the Dutch disease as a tentative explanation for this difference between net exporter and net exporters. The Dutch disease? Say what now? The Dutch disease refers to the idea that a resource boom drives up the value of a national currency as compared to other currencies, leading to a worsened export position for other industries. The idea refers to the rising Dutch guilder after the discovery and exploitation of natural gas in the 1960s. The lower social progress index for natural resource exporting countries is in line with the idea of a resource curse more generally. There are several other possible mechanisms for this paradox of the plenty. For example, large exports of natural resources makes countries sensitive to price fluctuations. Yet, a meta-analysis by Havranek et al. Finds that the evidence for such a resource curse is weak. In my opinion, Meyer et al. Could have included more discussion of alternative explanations for their findings, and possibly the inclusion of control variables could have been interesting, but overall the paper provides an impressive account of material flows.